Buongiorno a tutti, è Giulietto Chiesa per pandoratv.it. Coloro che seguono Pandora sanno che noi abbiamo nell'ultimo anno inaugurato una vera e propria rubrica, una serie che probabilmente poi pubblicheremo in un particolare cofanetto per coloro che sono interessati. Questa serie si chiama Il mondo nuovo, ma il mondo nuovo col punto interrogativo. È il mondo nuovo? Stiamo andando verso un mondo nuovo nella scienza in generale e abbiamo percorso alcune delle linee di questo mondo nuovo. Allora oggi noi facciamo di fatto una puntata speciale del mondo nuovo col punto interrogativo. Abbiamo due scienziati che ci spiegheranno un pezzo di questo percorso, probabilmente uno dei pezzi più singolari, più importanti, di quelli che la nuova generazione che verrà si troverà tra le mani. Qui si sta preparando, si sta, come dire, scavando il terreno per seminare. Ecco, chi sono questi due scienziati? Uno si chiama Alksej Rusetskii ed è un autorevole rappresentante di un istituto che a Mosca va per la maggiore, l'istituto Lebedev. L'altro è il professor Francesco Celani. I titoli poi ve li cercate su internet perché saprete tutto, andate su internet, digitate e scoprirete chi sono in profondità. Ma noi oggi qui parliamo di una cosa specifica. Il professor Rusetskii è qui in Italia per affrontare un discorso, chiamiamolo così, di ripresa delle relazioni tra i due paesi in questo campo che si chiama LERN, diciamo così, Low Energy Nuclear Radiation, cioè reaction, diciamo reazioni nucleari a bassa energia, traduciamolo così. Entrambi lavorano nello stesso campo. Celani ha lavorato in Italia, Rusetskii ha lavorato in Russia. Adesso sono qui tutti e due perché probabilmente vogliono andare avanti insieme in un clima nuovo. Non voglio per adesso anticipare tutta la nostra conversazione, però una cosa importante è dirla. Il professor Celani aveva già fatto un lungo percorso in questa direzione, ma a differenza evidentemente del professor Rusetskii ha incontrato qualche difficoltà, diciamo, ulteriore. Ci racconterà che cosa è successo. Si tratta di cose gravi in realtà, perché il professor Celani si è trovato 3 anni fa di fronte al problema di una decisione, non è chiaro presa da chi, che gli ha praticamente portato via il laboratorio, portandogli via tutta la documentazione, e c'è in corso una causa per scoprire dove è andata a finire questa documentazione. Voi capite che si tratta di una cosa di una assoluta gravità e piena di implicazioni, ma ci racconterà lui meglio. Io vorrei fare la prima domanda al professor Rusetskii. Può spiegare lei dove vi trovate voi a Mosca? Adesso continuiamo in inglese perché entrambi ci vediamo in russo e in inglese, scegliamo di parlare in inglese, farò il possibile per spiegare dove si trovano. Can you explain where you find in Moscow, in the Lebedev Institute, and why you are here?
Traditionally, we investigate in the field of LERN during the beginning of 19th last century. I was young student when this investigation began, and now we try to collaborate with Professor Celani in this field. Professor Celani also worked in this field a long time. He collaborates with Japanese colleagues and American colleagues, and now we will visit a special workshop on this field of investigation, not far from Rome, in Quasi di Greccio, Oasi di Greccio. And now we discuss with Professor Celani our future collaboration in this field.
And you believe it is possible in this, political situation to produce this kind of cooperation? Well, Italy is a NATO country.
For scientists, political is not So
Not
important.
Not important.
We, Professor Celani, collaborate with my colleagues long before me,
Yes.
and we come to collaborate easy.
Okay. And well, but you have support from your state organization, for your university. You are working well. I can say well.
I have the official position on my institute and working in this place absolutely officially, and we working free.
Free.
But our chief support us in this investigation.
Well, no, I put the question because our watcher should like to understand that you are going in a direction which is a border, is considered a borderline direction. That means there is some kind of suspicion. Well, what happened to Mr. Celani, to Professor Celani, shows that in the West almost there is suspicion, there is diffidence, there is something of some kind of intellectual or scientific opposition, I believe.
No, now in Russia we are not in opposition to another scientists. We make our investigation in among another investigations like cosmic rays, like another biological medicine and so.
Okay, but well, this way I would like you have to take into account that we are watched now. There will be some 1,000 people, some 10,000 people who will watch this kind of discussion. That means they have to understand what does it mean LENR. That means, can you explain simply to our people what is the substance of this research and which can be the result, the political, social, economical result of what you are doing?
At the beginning, the first observation of some unusual processes was done in 1989 by Martin Fleischmann and Stanley Pons in United States. This phenomena called Fleischmann-Pons effect or cold fusion process. They observed neutron emission during electrolysis in heavy water with palladium electrodes. And they decided that this is fusion reaction. They observed not only neutrons but a lot of energy produced in this case, and they decided this is pure fusion. Many people try to replicate this experiment. Some have negative results, some have positive, but after short time, all people says this we see nothing, it's false results. You need to refuse this problem, but this is not such simple. Fleischmann and Pons have some problems with patent, that because they must select on some details of the experiments, and people who tried to repeat was unsuccessful.
Okay.
And now many laboratories repeat the results.
Many where?
In Lebedev
In
Institute, for example, in Lebedev. We have the not like Fleischmann-Pons scheme, but another effects that proves the existence of DD reaction in deuterated crystals under room temperature and or close to room temperature. The level of reaction not so high, but it's the process exists, and we may to investigate it and make some investigation.
Okay, understood. It is the Lebedev Institute is the sole institute who is working in Russia, I mean,
No.
or there are other.
Other institute also have some groups who investigate in this field. For example, University of Lumumba,
Also in Moscow.
also in Moscow. Some people from Dubna working in this field. Some people in St. Petersburg also. And many people from Ukrainian. No, not Russia, but close to Russia. But close to Russia.
Okay.
Some of these people will be visit this workshop on other degrees.
Professor Wysocki.
Wysocki.
Okay. Well, I would like to. I would like now that Professor Celani explain from his point of view this situation.
Historically, the name changed from cold fusion. It just was the starting point to learn. So it's more large, and the learn group divided in two other lines. One devoted mainly to detect anomalous heat effect for a practical application as short as possible. Another more basic research studies, like same was doing Professor, my friend Alexander. So the experiment sample of make Alksej is very important because it is in some way a replication and confirmation of different experiments about the increasing example. Just to, to explain, if when you make some nuclear reaction, you expect some new products that depends upon the energy of the particle incoming. In the special case, with the learn experiments, if the material where happen the reaction is from specific type, the general rule are violated. What you get is larger, very, very larger, several times of what you expected. So such evidence is out of doubt. So we can accept the particle of God with very, very teeny signal, but why we refuse so big numbers like in the learn field, where you have 4 times, 5 times, 10 times even what is expected according to the standard model, to the normal model. Why different? So one you can say, just to say some bad word, particle of God, only few people can do. Learn, study, everybody in enough organized laboratory can do in every place in the world. Not only few people, but it's more democratic. It's a way. So this is important. And this experiment was done independently in Japan, in Germany with Poland people, and some in Italy too, but in a different way. And
but in the United States, of course.
And United States.
In MIT.
And MIT is considered the number 2-3 in the world institute. Why? They give credit when make other things, but when they make the learn study, they are crazy. So you have you have to decide, or it's crazy or.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
One question is, why this simple things produced so a big scandal? Because there was going on a big scandal.
Maybe because it was too much easy. If it was very difficult, only few people can do, you can control. But if 1,000 people can do some simple experiment, so this kind of experiment potentially can change the energy balance of world in the future. I don't know when. I hope soon. You don't need any more oil, carbon, or gas and so on.
That means
so can make instability to the power. So the power as react. How the best way? Say, oh, these scientists are crazy. But one of the crazy scientists is the Nobel Prize Brian Josephson. Brian Josephson is author of one of 7 exact number of constant in physics. There are only 7. The people living still is Klaus von Klitzing from Germany and Brian Josephson from Cambridge University in England. So you say, this people, this giant scientist is crazy because he works in learn field. So I think it's something very, very strange. And moreover, just to come to Italy, now, sadly, the Volts constant is not anymore because Volts, Alessandro Volta, but because a special number, special frequency of Josephson effect. So giant scientist, just because interested, learn, I say, oh, you are crazy.
I understand.
So really, very, very strange.
I understand very well.
Who has so much power?
Okay. There are.
Okay.
If I can interrupt you, to explain to our watchers what is going on. There are 2 questions. One is the question of academy, of traditional science.
Yes.
You are creating a new field. That means something of this kind. First, that means it touch the academic way of thinking.
Traditional academic.
Traditional academic. Okay, it's a good correction. From the other side, you told that the implications are huge.
Yeah.
That means immediately after that, everyone who understands what you are doing understand that there will be, if it is going on, will be huge differences, huge changes in political field, in the balance of power of the world, in the economy, and so on. In the strategic field, I can imagine how many implications. That means, this is another question which is certainly interesting for our watchers. If everything will go on, which kind of fields will be straight interested in that? That means, what do you provide in the possible consequences of your work? I mean, in the economic field, the financial field. And can you explain where and how?
In short.
In short. Making an example,
energy,
if it is possible.
Energy field. How you produce energy field, how you try to reduce the bad effect of pollutant, but the company that survive just because they want to reduce the bad effect of pollutant, they will be very disappointed if we don't have a pollutant. It's strange, but it's what really happened. Real life is more than fantasy.
That means production of energy without pollution.
Yeah, what to do?
Almost. Or
very few, reduced. Lower level, or a different kind of pollution. So,
I think it's not so simple.
Not simple, but
we try to get a new source of energy.
Yes.
Compact.
Yes.
Free from
widespread.
From waste, from
waste,
waste, for some biological influence on the Earth,
Okay.
and also very useful for people.
Okay. Well, I can resume this point. That means all the discussion going on in the world about climate change will be changed radically.
Yeah.
Changed radically.
Climate may be warmer, maybe cooler, but a new source of energy will be useful in any case.
Okay. Okay. No, yeah.
Yes.
If the climate will be cooler, you need more energy.
Yes, certainly.
Also.
Yes.
The climate instability, I hope, will be reduced if such kind of technology can develop enough.
In any
Still
case,
is scientific curiosity. We want to move from a scientific aspect to a prototype.
but
need money. Sorry.
Okay,
We need money.
This is the point. That means you agree that it is worth spending money in this direction. It is reasonable.
Yes. Example, Japan.
More than reasonable.
Yeah, Japan is pioneer. Spend a lot of money this field. The Japan
They have special government
project. The Japan is the country where there is a hurricane, volcano, earthquake, all the wars in the world happen there. But they decide, okay, we have to spend money in future science. 2 years before they get the Nobel Prize for medicine, this year again. But why? Because they have open mind. They don't care about the power, example, in the medicine of a big company for the medicine. They want to solve the problem. Solve. Because they have people. The people have to be happy.
Look, you are telling me that in Japan science is more free than in Italy, for instance.
Yes. Yeah, it's strange, but it's more free. They are more organized. So the money that they give is well used. Less tax, less control, less budget to put. You have only responsibility about the result.
Okay. And
Don't fill documents continuously, paper, that nobody will read. Because moreover, they are not enough clever to study the documents of the scientist. So the bureaucracy, usually not scientists, want to select, check, judge the work of scientists. So it's very contradictory. The scientists are different. Some way.
What is your opinion about that?
In my opinion, who have no money, more free. If you have no money, you can do
Nothing.
nothing, but you can thinking like you. Choose and not listen. How I must to thinking?
Okay, now you are in Italy and you...
Yes. I see that in Italy it's very complex situation. In Russia we also need to money for our investigations, but we are more free than in Italy, I see. In Russia, new direction of investigation is very convenient. And I come to the terminology. We begin like cold fusion scientists.
Yes.
Now we check, revise this point of view, and now we investigate low energy nuclear reaction field. Cold fusion is very is a small part of this very wide large amount of
Science.
The direction of science. And now I think we are on the upper level of investigation, and now we can to plan some joint collaboration and look on future, try to find some practical application of our investigations.
Yeah. What exactly can you tell which kind of interlocutor you have in Italy now for your trip today? That in these days, which kind of people you will meet? Which university? CNR.
The first place I visited was Ireland, Ischia. There was a channeling conference. Another very interesting phenomena for investigations. And now I come to Roma and visit Frascati to collaborate with Professor Celani.
I am a doctor. Even I teach several years in university, still doctorate title. Okay.
I am also doctor, but now we will be professors. If you professor,
okay.
Okay, fine.
And next week we will going to
Greccio.
Greccio and participate workshop on the field of anomalies on hydrogen load metals.
Yes.
It includes the low energy nuclear reaction field.
Okay, fine. Okay, well, this is clear. I believe that it is clear for everybody, but there is a problem because Mr. Professor Dr. Celani had a huge problem which has not been resolved, because you had the history of your laboratory is a history which can be
From the antenna, yeah. This is, I have, laboratory was not so large, so I have a lot documents, and I put all the oldest documents not in another place like magazine. And other instrument used rarely, or plastic, glass for reaction, everything. In 1915, after the conference was held in Italy at Padua, when I came back to the conference, I have a new idea. Obviously, I speak with my friends and ask to my technician, please go to the magazine to keep such instrument and device so on. He went there, and after called me, oh, Francesco, oh, terrible. What happened? You fall down? No, worst. All the documents, all the glasses were hammered. Chemical glasses hammered. Like tipped, want to make something wrong, and all the documents disappear. Impossible. I have very hard stainless steel box. What's open? Forced, and all documents out. Say no, impossible. Nobody can be. So I went there, and there was a little bit shocked. Almost I fall down.
In which year?
It was happened. So I realized the events in April 2015, but really what happened was 2 months before, when I was over busy for the preparation of the conference. So
2015.
Yeah, 3 years before.
3 years.
Before, and so I tried to ask to somebody, I suppose some very bad joke. So I tried, and for some time I visit all the most dirty place in the laboratory to try to find my documents. It was almost the story of LERN or cold fusion, and I was one protagonist. And even my previous scientific activity, even my thesis were destroyed, because I changed my house several times. So I put all the very important documents in the box. So there are 5 metallic box against fire, against water, against everything, but not against bad men. So they open, and
That means you went to the
And
policy.
after, for 1-2 months, I try to ask everybody, can you see just, and I went to the police the last day before time expired for make formal.
Yeah,
and I
formal
went to the
denunciation.
Carabinieri, very, very clever, really wonderful people. They don't believe me at the beginning, impossible. At least I make a formal denunciation in English name.
Denunciation.
The denunciation, and the same was given to the minister, because damaged documents of the Italian government. So one lawyer helped me to fill in the proper words everything. The year later, the Carabinieri come back again and make other reports, everything, but still now nothing. So
3 years.
3 years, maybe 2 years because they needed to make a check, everything. Now nothing.
It's a huge damage.
Huge damage.
But not only your personal, it is
No. It's a damage
science.
because at one point, now we make some maybe big improvements in our experiment. And we realize some of the test, it was done 10 years before, 15 years before. So if I have book, I can read and optimize my time. I have done this one, but also I don't remember everything. People thought, oh, you have publication, you have a lot of publication. But the publication is just a very short resume.
Yeah.
What is important is the know-how, how you reach the result, not the result itself. The way.
The way, certain.
This is the mistakes and how to avoid. This is the way, the know-how.
Especially
But
in this
they destroyed the know-how. I was really disappointed. You cannot imagine. Sometimes in the night I cannot sleep or wake up. No, okay.
Okay.
Terrible.
I thank you very much. I am curious about the development of your work and of your common work, and in the same time I am curious about the development of the Inquirer. If there will be surprise,
I hope that now we have a new government, the government of changing, they will do something. Example, 5 Stelle group, 5-star groups, and the Lega group, they help me a lot to survive.
Before they go to the government.
Yeah. So now I hope they will continue. Some people are helping me. So they are honest people. They say, oh, this can be some good possibility. Why cut?
Okay.
You make a lot, maybe crazy money for.
Well, thank you very much. Well, take into account that Pandora TV will be interested in development of your work.
You are
and
very kind.
I believe that you are making a good, very interesting job for not only for yourself or for your laboratories, but you are opening a new road to a certain extent. That means you are pioneer from.
Thank you.
And for that reason, you are very useful for our future.
Sure. And from my private point of view, I married late. I have 2 young daughters, so they are very young. So I hope for them a better environment, less pollution. I work for myself.
We conclude in Italian so we can avoid. Credo che questo sia stato un piccolo contributo per dimostrare 2 cose importanti, che si possono fare grandi cose partendo dalla semplicità. Questa è un'idea straordinariamente semplice e nello stesso tempo straordinariamente grande, e quindi si possono fare queste cose se si ha coraggio e se si ha una volontà politica. Oggi abbiamo sentito delle proposte che sono importanti per tutti, per i nostri paesi, per la Russia, per l'Italia, per il mondo, per il Giappone, per affrontare grandi questioni del futuro che sono aperte perché questa è la mia convinzione, noi viviamo in un sistema economico che non regge, non può reggere, è insostenibile e come tale si rompe. E quindi ogni ricerca che lavori nella direzione di rimettere insieme le cose perché possono sopravvivere è benvenuta. Quindi noi seguiremo questo mondo nuovo dove c'è ancora il punto interrogativo, ma cerchiamo di togliere pian piano il punto interrogativo. Grazie ai nostri ospiti, torneremo con loro, magari a Mosca, quando il dottor Celani andrà a Mosca, e magari direttamente
adesso a Mosca con la conferenza
professor Rusetskii. Io vi rappresento, io sono stato incaricato da Francesco Celani di rappresentare il suo lavoro, il loro lavoro a Mosca, quindi ci vado molto volentieri come osservatore.
Beh, non solo,
benissimo.
È quasi fisico, quindi.
Grazie a tutti per il vostro ascolto, grazie ai nostri ospiti.
Grazie a voi.